What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to go over uh, my eBay. I personally think my eBay store kind of sucks, but I enjoy selling, reselling just in general. It's not my main job. I make plenty of money at my real job, but I enjoy this stuff. And I've sold a lot of stuff that I probably would have donated, and I make on average with eBay $100 a day in sales. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I sold this past week, what I got up listed, some of the things that I've learned. And again, it's just to educate you guys that whether it's toys, clothing, vintage clothing, coins, silver, gold, jewelry, watches, I've kind of dabbled in all of it. So let's get started. And let me show you the screen here so we can go over basically my store. So my sell-through rate, I think, is excellent, even though I think it could be a lot better. I could be choosier with the stuff that I list, but I've got 1,892 items listed. I try and keep my store around that number. In a perfect world, I'd love it to be, 1,000 items listed and sell 1,000 items every 90 days. Like, yeah, wouldn't everybody like that, right? On average, I sell almost 6 items per day. So I do decent volume. I'm always going to the post office, which literally is like 5 minutes from my house, or sending my wife to do it. She absolutely loves that job. Post office closes at 6, so usually I'm going there, and then I got a big pile of stuff to send or to ship out tomorrow because from the sales this weekend. So I do not wait till Monday morning to package all my items. I get everything going the night before, so that way that Monday, the weekend sales, including like Friday after 6 o'clock that missed the post office, everything gets shipped out Monday. So very, very important. If you want a successful store, don't sit on your items, ship them out. The other thing too is like no one knows that your items are listed for sale or are available for sale unless you actually list them. So yes, it's very important. On average, if you can, list at least 10 items a day to keep your store fresh and whatnot. So 1892 total items available. You can see that up here. And we've got 477 actual sales. So these are all my solds, which is a 25% sell-through rate. I have, because it gets cold here in the area that I live in. I've been digging deeper into, I wouldn't call it a death pile. It's just like my kids' old toys. So I'm 48 years old. I have 3 adult daughters, and these are all their like Y2K toys, which we have a grandson here, but he's not going to be playing with dollhouse stuff. So this is stuff that basically I found that I've been keeping, and now it's time to list it. I've kind of been not looking forward to listing these toys, but now they actually have some value, especially some of the actual newer stuff like Bratz styles and stuff. So these are the sales. So just today, I had a lady reach out. I knew someone was interested in a lot of these Fisher Price. So this is a Fisher Price Loving Dream Mansion, and these are the various dolls. This kitchen that actually, when you open the oven there, it makes noise. This washing machine one doesn't do anything, but these are all parts of the actual. If I get more than one item, can I get a discount in shipping? I was like, absolutely. So I boxed all this stuff up. It was $7.51. And then from her order, I gave her a $4 refund on every single one because it was great. Just listed those this past week. So love when I list stuff and love when it sells right away. Here's a watch I picked up for under $2. It doesn't work. It's super old. I tried to fix it. I did clean it up. It's nice. Someone's obviously buying this just to wear, not really to have an operating watch, or maybe they have an old watch that they're going to pull parts off. Maybe they have a working dial. Again, a lot of these like older watches, it's more the look. So this is marked on it. It's not silver. It's just silver toned. It's an old Geneva watch, very, very old. It's in good shape. Just the dial no longer works. So maybe this person, it's a lady. So maybe this lady has a working dial, but it's just regular quartz inside. I'm also one of the weird people on eBay. When I do list watches, whether they work or not, I always take a picture of the snapback taken off. Now, even with the screwback cases, those are a little more difficult, but I don't want people to get surprised when they open up their watch, be like, this thing is completely jacked up or rusted out. Or if I do replace the battery and put it nice, I want to show them everything because I don't want them to be surprised. Plus, it's always important to open up the back watches to see if there's actually any jewels in it. Yes, guys and gals, quartz watches that run on a battery. Some of them do have jewels and they're a little bit nicer made. So really cool to sell that for 16 bucks plus shipping. Again, got less than $2 into that. Picked that up from another eBay seller that's local to me. They're kind of like a cash for gold type of place, but they do purchase like large estate sales from people of watches, toys. Mainly it's metals and coins, but they had some really great deals on watches that were sitting for quite some time, and I'm able to pick it up. So they charge really high shipping charges, like 19 bucks. I was able to pick it up. So I got all nice watches like these. Some of them are worth over 200 bucks for under $2 a piece. So I've made like 5 purchases from that store. Here's some old clothes for my daughter. Blew that out. I'm never going to list my kids' clothes again. They're super annoying. Um, I give the people credit that do list on eBay just clothing alone. That has to be the most boringest thing in the entire world. And it almost like you feel like a robot when you're listing clothes. So let me know in the comments, any of you sellers that are watching this, um, don't you feel like a robot listing clothing? It's so boring. It's my pictures suck. I don't even have like the display. Like this is like on my shades here at our prior house and whatever. But the stuff still sells. But I will never go out of my way to buy clothing unless it's like vintage stuff that's like over 100 bucks or over 50 bucks. These $8 items, dude, is a total waste of time. This is a little Milky figurine. That's what the lady that sold it to me called it. I ended up buying like I grabbed a bunch of stuff and I have like 69 cents into this. I do not recommend buying figurines or glass figurines, even if they're tiny or small, unless you can get them for under a buck, because they're super painful to ship. And I actually ended up paying a couple bucks extra to ship this because I double box it. I do not want someone buying anything glass from me to get broken. But it was a cool left on. So left on, this one's from the 50s. And uh, this piece was cute. And I asked the girl too. She was a younger girl. I'm like, why are you selling this stuff? She said, oh, my grandma gave me all these. I have no space for them in my apartment. And this one I called Milky. So she's like, it's time for someone else to enjoy. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I always like to get a story. Like, why is someone selling it? It was really weird too. It was like a garage sale, but the garage door was closed and their tables were set out. The parking absolutely sucked because it's kind of like on a busier street that led into the town of Glen Ellen. But they were super nice. I parked around the corner and I'm like, wow, you got some really cool stuff. And they, she's like, yeah, if whatever you want, it's a buck a piece on the table. I'm like, wow, cool. So I'm like, well, I really don't want to buy any stuff, but some of the stuff was cool. And I've had experience selling my mother's prior things like Bugs Bunny, Disney type little figurines, although nothing I picked up was Disney. But I am familiar with Lefton, and I am familiar when this stuff is quite old and well taken care of. This was a surprise. So this was in a bin. I mentioned this in my prior video, this Corral brand. So yeah, $20. It's insane, right? But it's brand new. This is definitely vintage. It's a French company, although this is made in China. They make one of the higher end type of doll clothing. You could see here in this doll store, someone paid $28.95. I don't know if that was my mom or some. I know it wasn't me, but this stuff's worth big bucks. So if you find Corral or Coral, I don't know if I'm saying it right, brand spanking new like this, sealed, and it's in good shape. It's not stained. It's not smoked. The plastic's good. You can get top dollar. So $20 for a doll outfit that fits like a 12-inch doll, I guess. But that's insane. So again, I listed that last week. This in metal can. So this is a bad habit that I have. I do this. I don't know smoke. I no longer smoke cigars. This is something I do. I used to even dip and stuff, but I buy the product and there's like little codes on the back of the product. You can join the rewards program. And I always wanted one of these metal cans, but then I was like, that's really stupid. I don't need to be fancy. And I don't need to store because you already get it in a container. So anyways, this is a cool product. It's similar to like Camel, Marlboro, it's not, although there's no tobacco and it's just nicotine. But if you see these at garage sales for even $5, and the person still has the box or even used, they sell for like 55, 60 bucks. This is a huge popular product right now. Fully taking off. It's FDA approved. Regardless, though, this is the first year that they're doing a metal. And if you find a gold one, the gold ones go for 150. So I listed this like 3 days ago. It already sold. I knew it would sell for 75. I did put that in my prior video, which is that was a pretty funny video. It's a Bratz. I'm like, here's the Zen can I got. And then I'm like, oh, and these are all these like Bratz styles I got to organize and resell. So I put a Bratz style holding a Zen, which is pretty bad, but whatever. It's adults only, so it's not like kids are watching this. So, but anyways, if you see this product out there, someone has it on their table and they don't want it anymore, even if they want $10 or $20, it's a $75 bill. Well, it's $64 after eBay fees, having a store on eBay, and all that good stuff. So you easily can make over $60 profit if you pick this up for $1 or $5 if someone's dumb enough to sell that at their estate sale. More clothing, again, hate it, but at least some of it's selling, which is great. Books on tape. As I mentioned this in prior videos, so I picked up a bunch of audio books from a reseller on YouTube that I follow, and bought a big box of them and got them all for $1.25 each. I was hoping there'd be like more religious ones, but guys, don't buy this stuff. Like, even if you're like, I don't think they sell this stuff at Savers or Goodwill or stuff, but if they do, they probably like ask too much. Like, do not pay more than $1.25. They take forever to sell. This one is open. I have like sealed ones, and I'm like, I need to list something, because it's like wintertime. So I think I've sold like five, or I think I maybe sold 6 or 7 of these books so far. So I've got my money back, but they're super slow sellers. Don't do that for a living. It absolutely sucks. So I enjoy vintage DuPont lighters. I'm weird. I like to take them apart. I first of all if I purchase a lighter, I'm gonna try and get it for under $100. They're vintage. They're from the 70s and early 80s. They're not real gold, but they're super cool. Everything's handmade in France, and I always try and fix the lighter to get it to work. But if I get it to work and then it's leaking, I don't want to sell a boomerang. I only want to sell a lighter that doesn't leak and actually works. This one didn't work. I tried to fix it, but I've already sold, I think 5 or 6 parts out of it, and I've got my money back. So everything else is pure profit. So if you do like to take apart stuff, if you're strange like me, you can do that with a vintage lighter like this. And I recommend showing all the parts, like the full lighter taken apart, because you're selling it to a buyer that needs a particular part, whether it's the body, the top, the valve, the cover, an O-ring. All these things have value, and they're impossible to get them here in the United States because it's a French company, and most buyers do not or will not buy from international sellers on eBay because it takes like 2 to 3 weeks and it sucks. So if you guys want to do that, go ahead, buy one of these lighters, take it apart, list all the parts. You can make some good money. It is a slow seller, but there's a huge following for this brand, and it's still current too. So people that smoke cigars or cigarettes or pipes, this is the Rolls Royce of lighters, period. And even the old ones, the parts sell for big bucks. All right, I sold one of the parts for my BMW that I fixed back in the day. This guy had a lot of questions. I was bored, so I was prying back to him. He showed me his part. I'm like, well, this part exactly matches it. It's for my older BMW. He got it for $8. This thing brand new goes for like $45 from the BMW dealer. I did find some old video games, and I did resurface them. So again, don't sell video games even with like little scratches on it. It's a boomerang. It's just gonna come back. So unless you have a professional machine that actually resurfaces them, like I do, don't buy disc games that are scratched and try and sell them at eBay. They're absolute boomerangs. You're gonna get people that they'll be like, I'm not happy, this doesn't work. Even though it does work, it's got scratches. Just don't even bother selling video games with scratches on it. So here's a coin. Here's a beautiful Morgan silver dollar that I sold. Hopefully it stays out there this time. Gorgeous coin. Got really lucky, bought it in a lot, got this for $37.80, sold it for $316. It's well worth probably more than this. Even like professionally graded ones that come back that they're detailed coins, they're not perfect, but they're in BU condition, sell all day for $550 on eBay. So it's a real score for the buyer. Old He-Man part, old Voltron, Power Rangers part, a Cheerio penny, a German weather house station, monster cables for the car. I bought some Wii games back during the pandemic when all that stuff was hot. This is still sealed. Absolute dog. Do not buy that kind of stuff. And then remotes and more monster cables and stuff. And then this one dial that I already did it on my prior video. So appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you learned something. Keep add it, and I'll talk to you in the next one.